Okay, so we're continuing with percent increase and decrease today. We're swapping to, so yesterday we went over percent increase, decrease with the table. Today we're swapping to, I want to say percent of change. Let me take this off. Let me make sure my marker's working. Yes, we've got success. Okay, so a few words for you to write down. Markdown is a reduction in price, usually to attract more buyers. So that's one of our words that was in our chart yesterday. Make sure your notebooks are out. You too. Notebooks, pencils, should have been out already. Shouldn't have to tell you. So that represents a decrease. Markup is the difference between a product's wholesale price and its retail price. So that's representative of an increase. And commission, money paid in exchange for the service of selling something. So this is neither an increase or a decrease. This is a percent of. And we've looked at two problems, one that used commission and another that was similar, that was also a percent of problem. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our first problem. So for these types of problems, we have kind of a different way of working it out. So let's go ahead and read. We're going to do like normal. Read once, read twice. In 1992, the population in a town was 8,000 people. In 1997, the population was 14,000. What was the percent increase in the population? So, hold on. Annabelle, at this point you shouldn't even need that, but there it is. While you're there, can you also tap a friend? Thank you. What was the percent increase in the population? So, in 1992, the population in the town was 8,000 people. In 1997, the population was 14,000. What was the percent increase in the population? So we know we're looking for the percent increase. So for these types of problems, we're going to do a few things, and I'm going to write the steps down at the bottom. So if you do not have your screen split at home, I would highly recommend that you do so. So you can see the steps, write them down, and also see the problem. For in here, we're also writing percent change. On top of the word problem, underneath the word problem, you are writing the steps. So 1, van a escribir los pasos, lo vas a escribir 1, 2, y lo que vaya escribiendo. Those of you at home, whole word problem should be written down. Remember, you want at least one example of each in your notebook. That way, when we get to the quiz, you have something to come back to and look at to make things easier on you. So we're going to start by subtracting our new amount from our original amount. So 14,000 minus 8,000. Thank you, Alvin.
$6,000.
Thank you. So 14,000 minus 8,000 is 6,000. Our second step is taking our sum divided by the original. So I'm taking 6,000 and dividing it by 8,000.
$0.75.
Thank you. Make sure you're writing down the steps too. One problem or another. If it's not one thing, it's another thing. Tomorrow, I think you're on. The next day, I can't hear you. Then how are you answering the question? And our final step is multiply decimal by 100. So we take 0.75 times 100, and it gives us
75.
perfect, 75. I know that voice. 75%. That was Yuli Lani. Okay, so 3 basic steps. We subtract, we divide, we multiply. Percent of change. And then you go and you circle your answer. And I know I didn't circle it, I put a box around it. It just looks nicer. Make sure you have the problem worked out, the problem written down, and the steps written down. I don't want to see those of you that are coming tomorrow and with blank looks on your faces like, I was online, I was answering questions, but I still don't know what I'm doing. You know who you are. You got yours. I know. Albin, try leaving and coming back. Not the Nearpod, but the Teams. Because everybody else can hear me, so this is a you problem. Okay, problem number 2. We're going to start it together. You're going to end it on your own. So it says, a shirt originally cost $24.99. It was on sale for $19.99. What was the percent decrease in the price of the shirt? So it originally cost $24.99. So you can do this on your screen as well. It was on sale for $19.99. What was the percent decrease in the price of the shirt? So our first step told us to do what? Kevin, what did our first step tell us to do? You have it in your notes. Read it. What do we do in our first step?
Subtract.
Don't tell me, Randy.
Oh, that's hard.
What did we do? Subtract what? What number from what number? Because this is important. Or do I just subtract bigger number minus smaller number? Right? So I'm doing $24.99 minus $19.99. Go ahead and take that first step. Okay. Ruby, what does that give me? Oh, you got it? What is it? Cinco. Cinco dólares. We've got $5 for those who don't know what cinco is. Okay, what do I do with that 5, with that cinco? ¿Qué hago con ese número?
Divided by the original.
Perfect. So I'm going to take 5 and divide it by my original. I know. Five divided by $24.99.
20.
Point what?
20.
Thank you. Point 20. Go ahead and do the third step and circle your answer. Don't call it out.
So you take the answer, and you divide it by, and you have it here, divide it by the original. Okay, what was your original cost? Yeah, so it's not always gonna be the smallest number, so when you put that in the calculator, you get 5, divided by 2, and you get 20, and then you take that, and what's the last step? Because that's a decimal, you want a percent, how do I do? I multiply 100, so I take 0. You go to 2 times 100 equals. Okay, so the reason we choose last step is this is the decimal, it doesn't ask us the decimal, asks us the percent. If it's multiple choice, it's on that step, it's gonna be that as a percent. Multiply by 100 in case of a weird decimal. Okay? So the steps are, you take the original and the new and divide it. If you put it in backwards, it's not going to give you the same answer, it just might be negative. So don't worry if you put it in the correct way, just subtract how many times, okay? And if you get a negative, just ignore it. You take that answer and you divide it by the original. And then you'll get a decimal when you do that. Then you multiply that and convert to make it a percent. So basically what it's saying is, so this is percentage decrease, so when they get smaller, the percentage change is how much did it change by? right? Makes sense. Think about it. We want to know what was the change. Well, the change was $100. Well, what percent is that? Well, 5. Here's the original. That's all it's asking. Okay.
Okay, so Ruby, what did I do for my last step? Good. I multiplied by 100, which gave me 20%. Make sure when you get this that you're putting that percent sign at the end, and then make sure to circle it. So I had some people yesterday doing the table, and then you're done with the table, but you don't go back and circle the answer. So like if we were doing a quiz and you're doing your work, I want you to get in the habit of making sure you go back in and circle your answer, because if not, you're going to have it on your paper. You're not going to have it on your quiz, and I'm not going to know what your answer is. So we want to get in a good habit, not in a bad habit. Okay, so you're going to do one more question. Same thing. Make sure all of you have submitted. I don't know. Just telling you what I see. Okay, so this is going to be your exit ticket. Remember to follow your 3 steps. I'm going to read it through with you, underline it with you, and then I'm going to leave you to do it on your own. The regular price of a pair of shoes. Now, I know some of us are getting confused with original and new amount. So the regular price of a pair of shoes was $65. The shoes were on sale for $58.50. What was the percent decrease? If you're forgetting or aren't sure which one is the original versus the new, write it down. $65, $58.50, and then start your steps. That way, when you're doing your steps, you can look at what your original and your new are so that you don't get those confused. Because we're not looking at doing step 2 by then dividing by the smaller number. You're always dividing by the original. So it's good to know which is which. Go ahead and do this. Give yourselves about 5 minutes or so. And I'll be looking. I'm going to stop recording here, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen.